It's on, it's on, it's on. It's on, it's on, it's on. Alright. How's everybody doing out there? Sorry for all the shaking. So there's an official state of emergency going on right now down in my old stomping grounds as a kid, Boulder County. Yeah, I'm ashamed to admit. It's kind of a Longmont, Boulder kid growing up for the most part. And so I'm kind of driven to just go get some kind of overwatch of the fires, the brush fires going on down there. And I don't want to get caught up in traffic or anything like that. That's not my goal here. Because, yeah, for one thing, I don't even have money to sit there burning gas these days. And, yeah, so I just want to get some overwatch, see what it looks like down there in the valley, as we call it up here in the hills. And yeah, then I'll hopefully quickly make my way back home. There's like stuff. The winds are so intense up here. Something just flew over the roof, and I think it's undermining the siding on the main house right now. I think that's what's flapping around. That's great. That's great. Sure, insurance won't cover that one. So yeah, that's my my mission, as if I have so chosen to accept it. Just gotta find the right keys now. That's the biggest hurdle. I have no idea what these are. I am borrowing somebody's car because somebody else has got my car. So communal effort here, you know. It takes a village to document the news these days. I'm off. Let's see what we can find, eh? Thanks. That's all I have to say. I don't know why I'm still here. So I don't think I fully explained in that last segment what exactly was going on for the audience. There's been high winds all day. I think there was the highest reported was like 115 mile per hour winds down in the valley, as we mountain folk call it, Front Range, Colorado. And so down a couple power lines, as the story goes, and started some wildfires in Boulder County. And I think several towns now have been evacuated. Superior, Louisville, could be wrong on one of those, but yeah, whole towns evacuated. There was images on the idiot box of whole Costco's being evacuated, people being rushed out of the stores with police lights going, and there's several people on Twitter who have uploaded a few videos of fires just raging over the highway. You know, pretty much pure bedlam, pandemonium, all that good stuff. Yeah, another fire apocalypse in the making. So national state of emergency was declared, and I'm just trying to get kind of some overwatch footage. Maybe I thought it might be kind of interesting. Kind of curious what it's going to look like as the sun begins to set. I'm not sure if you'll see any glow or anything like that, but we shall find out. Anyway, I'm going to try not to kill myself and stay on the road, and I'll check back in a little bit. And of course, my biggest concern right now, the biggest threat to my life, is other drivers on the road, because whenever there's like a emergency situation like they've declared, it seems like everybody drives around like they've gone insane, chickens with their head cut off. I don't know if they're trying to get home quickly to you know, sit in front of the idiot box and find out the latest info on what's going on, but it never fails. Like during the fires, the same thing. Just everybody just starts losing their minds, and you know, like all the regular courtesy or driver's etiquette, if that's the right phraseology, just kind of goes out the window. You know, it's just like all of a sudden it's just a free-for-all, and we're all just like in this chaotic survival mode. Maybe it's that conditioning, sinking in, that regular state of emergency that we've always got to be under, it seems like. Brought to you by your loving government and corporate fraud, fake news media. But yeah, it just seems like the psychology. Whenever there's something going down, everybody just kind of gets a little loopy. And so yeah, I'm going to pay attention to the road. And that's my biggest concern. It's just watching for these other drivers, because just had some guy going down the dirt road back there on my way to the highway that just kind of like zoomed around a corner. It's like, dang, dude, chill. Yeah, seems to be the norm in these kind of situations. So make our way down to the valley and we'll see what we can see. All right, stay tuned. My camera will focus. All right. Smoke on the water. So I think we're seeing the first evidences, first signs of the smoke on the horizon over there from all that fire and brimstone. Boulder County. I'm on Carter Lake Road right now, just turning off of Eisenhower, and see how close I can get. Looks like a bomb went off over the front range over there. There's that song go again. Smoke over Boulder. Something like that. This is all of the smoke from the fires today. That dark, dingy, blue-gray cloud over the cities. Pretty impressive amount of air pollution at the moment. There's the pointing in the right direction. Yep, there's the main active smoke cloud burn area. And that's the way I'm headed, I guess. Yep. That's what I'm here for. This is Nightwatch N8. Documenting the apocalypse. Might have to start a new series like the Doomsday Chronicles or something like that, because I have a feeling, just from my reading of the book of Revelation, that we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of this type of stuff. And I can guarantee you, as a freedom-loving patriot type of person, I can guarantee you that government will always be there to exploit all of the catastrophes, natural or man-made, on the horizon for their own, control freakish agendas. And so, yeah, we'll just get more of the same. More tyranny, more restriction of our civil liberties, more centralized global governance, all in the name of trying to keep us childlike citizens safe, right? From ourselves, of course. And from our own freedoms, because that's the most dangerous thing out there, don't you know? I'll show you this. It's really pretty sunset as well, in juxtaposition to this plume, this apocalyptic looking plume on the horizon here. I got a few friends in the area. I'm just kind of curious what they're up to. Assuming everyone's alright. I know I have a brother who works in Boulder. And I don't even think I got a phone on me, so I can't even call him to check how he made it out of the city. But prayers are always welcome. So, yeah. Looks pretty ominous there, right there on the end of this highway. Wow. Still looks like it's burning pretty well. Pretty impressive. Glad I made the drive down here. Might pull over here shortly and try to get some pictures of this. This might be a good place. Yeah, let me try to find a place. I'll get back with you. This is really incredible, though, I must say. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this in my lifetime. And it's just a strange sight to see this down here in the valley, in the plains. A fire like this, you know, you expect to see a fire like this with a plume like this up in the mountains, maybe, you know, a forest fire. But a grass fire this big is pretty ominous, you know. The closest thing I can liken it to is maybe like a big sandstorm in a desert. Yeah, it's pretty ominous. I mean, really dark, thick clouds right now. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's letting up, really. Pretty impressive. Yeah, I guess you could say looks a little something like you'd see in a movie, or expect to see in a movie. And that's the cloud in front of me right now. Again, I'm trying not to get in an accident as I drive and film this. Yeah, it just looks like it's just right over that hillside. I apologize if my camera's a little shaky. I didn't have time to pack up the gimbal and all that. Just kind of headed right out the door. Yeah, that's pretty amazing though, that plume of smoke. Pretty darn impressive. Is it everything I expected it to be? Yeah, I guess it's that and then some. Didn't actually expect to see such high, billowing plumes coming off of this fire. As you can see where the edge of it is, it's really a dark smoke. And I'm still not yet sure. They were talking, a few houses have been burned. It swept through several neighborhoods. There's a lot of housing complexes out there in the plains, just these big developed areas that they fill up with houses. And I assume that's what got the brunt of it, the places out there surrounded by all that dry grass. There's an idea of how far the smoke travels on the horizon. That's pretty impressive. If I were to describe my feelings right now, I'd probably say it's kind of like a feeling of foreboding. It's kind of awe-inspiring to see power of nature. Let's try to do this while I'm driving. Okay. Just to experience, to see in front of your eyes unfold is kind of like a similar experience during the fires at Cameron Peak and the troublesome fires that I documented on my little channel. just this kind of feeling of awe, a sense of awe to see, this destruction on a mass scale. It's kind of unfolding before your eyes, and knowing that you are completely powerless to stop this thing, and if by any chance you get caught up in it, I mean, you're done for, basically. And that's why you don't want to press your luck. There's a lot of these guys that do like storm chasing and that kind of thing. And sure, as long as you know what you're doing, and you just got to be really smart, because you don't want to tempt, well, first of all, you don't want to tempt God. You don't want to tempt nature when it's at its most destructive. So, yeah, of course, I'll use reason when it comes to filming this thing. There's a lot of cars. I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm not going to get too close. I don't think I'll be able to, actually, because they have a lot of the roads blocked off, and a lot of the surrounding towns and cities pretty much evacuated. So, but yeah, you got to be careful. And just the smoke inhalation. I mean, I've already had enough of that in my lifetime, I think, for a couple lifetimes. Staying up in Estes Park during the double fires, the biggest fires in state history, and just breathing in smoke for weeks straight. Heavy smoke. Yeah, it's just something you don't really want to do. But yeah, it's just amazing, the power. And there is kind of a beauty to it, I guess you could say, in a twisted sort of way, maybe. I don't know. I think there's beauty in destruction. But yeah, it is also a sad thing when people's lives are affected, especially if any lives are lost. I haven't heard any reports yet of actual fatalities, but I'm sure there's several people that have been harmed. And like I said, just through smoke inhalation alone, it can do some damage on you. Yeah, I'll get back to filming the fire instead of looking at me the whole time. Just gotta drive without risking my own life here for some footage. You can see those setting sun rays off the mountains over there, that wall of clouds over the mountains. You can see some of that color from the setting sun just hitting the top of that cloud. And yeah, there's a lot of dingy smoke. They showed it on the radar, actually, on the news. Showed up on the radar, this big trail of smoke from the fire. Reminiscent of the recent string of tornadoes almost, and the debris was tossed some 30,000 miles into the atmosphere. That was crazy stuff. I think I'm going to take a right, try to get a little higher into the foothills so I can kind of take a look down on this thing. Smoke on the water. Doo, doo, doo. Yeah. The whole time I'm flying down this highway, the wind is pushing me this or that way. So, again, one of my biggest concerns, one of the biggest threats to my own personal safety is other drivers. And of course, I don't want to be one of those other drivers by not driving responsible. So I'm going to put down my phone now, my camera, and pay attention to the road. There's just this ominous dark cloud right now, and the sun is setting over the mountains, so losing some of that detail on the top edges, fringes of the smoke plume. But you can still get a pretty good idea of how big this is. I'm up here driving along the foothills towards Boulder. And yeah, it's still a pretty massive cloud. Not sure what's on fire still, but as the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire, so there's got to be something burning down there. And there are emergency vehicles ahead, and I'm kind of wondering if they're stopping cars right here so you don't go into Boulder. Or maybe not, that car just drove past, so we'll see. Maybe it's just precautionary. They might be like staging areas to block off the highways if necessary. That's what I'm assuming. Firefighters. And yeah, so it's an interesting feeling out here. Thought I'd stop and show some of the flames, the areas that are still burning. The size of this plume. Still high winds. Up here in the foothills. We just had a wind gust and that flame just got really bright right there. Looks to be the fire line. Fire light up. Pretty impressive. Of course, prayers go out to anybody fighting these fires for safety. And I think this is as far as they're going to let me go down this road. Yep. Looks like they're blocking traffic into Boulder. Pretty crazy, actually. The whole town of Boulder. basically quarantined right now. Careful what you ask for, right? Still see some pretty good sized flames. The edge of the fire line right there. And the winds just keep gusting. And as usual, we got some looky-loos. You know how it is. I might try to find another route. I'm not sure how close I can get to these fires. It might be the best viewing just up here on the foothills. This might be the rare scenario where it's actually makes sense to run for the hills during a fire. Head for the hills. Yeah, I'm assuming they have these places pretty well blocked off. What vehicles are near the fire, I'm assuming are firefighters and other personnel. Anyway, I'm losing focus. I might have to change lenses here. Be right back. Okay, I just about lost one of my lenses. I just about freaked myself out there. Stopped by the side of the road for a little pee break earlier, and I was hoping it didn't just roll out the door and get lost on the side of the road somewhere. So roads are blocked off. You can see there's the plume. Might try to take a couple back roads, but I'm not sure how close they're gonna let me get to this thing. And I don't want to drive around all night, but I don't know. We'll see. This may be the end, and it may not. We'll see. I'm gonna keep looking. All right. Alright, you can't see me right now because it's getting dark, but wait a second. I just had a bright idea. There we go. Alright, so I'm trying to stay on the road. I'm working my way towards Hygiene, I think. One of these back roads, and I was just thinking it was probably a good idea to get up there on the foothills because you can look down on the fires and you can probably see more. But I'm kind of just curious what the atmosphere is like down here in the nearby affected cities, and what kind of police presence, considering this is a national state of emergency and all that. So I thought it'd be a little more interesting rather than just doing long shots of these little flames on the horizon. I thought it'd be a little more interesting to drive kind of around the perimeter of some of these areas that are being affected by this massive plume of smoke, and I don't know, we'll see how close I can get. I'm just curious how much they have blocked off, how much they're restricting travel, and without getting too wrapped up in traffic, just see how chaotic things are down here in the crazy valley at the moment. So I'm headed into Longmont, I guess, first, and then I'll see how further south I can get, without things getting too insane and just having to turn around. So, it's kind of hard to see me. The lighting's not too good right now, but it's getting dark, and I'll assume once I'm in the city there'll be a little more light. But I could be wrong, because if this is really as smoky as it looks, I don't know. We'll see. All right, stay tuned.